Hey guys, so someone sent me a message on Facebook asking about record stores within the LA area. I accidentally deleted the message that they sent me. I meant to respond to it. I don't know why I deleted it, but I figured let's make a video and maybe they might see this video and get some idea of record stores to visit within the LA area. So I'm going to talk first about the record stores I've been to, and then I'm going to talk about the record stores that I would like to go and visit within the LA area, because I live in LA, but I haven't been to every record store that is within the LA area, and someday I would love to go to every record store within the LA area. So let's get into this video. First record store I'm going to talk about is Puba Records in Pasadena. So I was on Google and I decided to look up record stores near me. And I stumbled across Puba Records, and I discovered that Puba Records was in Pasadena. And I thought to myself, hey, I've been to Canterbury Records in Pasadena, which is a nice record store, by the way. Let's go and check out Puba. So I went to Puba, and it's a really nice hole-in-the-wall record store. And I found quite a few used records within that store. Styx, Bruce Springsteen, Harry Chapin. What I like about the record store is I think it has a pretty decent used section, and they were not really that expensive. Because sometimes when I go to a used record store, they want to charge you an arm and a leg for a used record, and I'm not really into paying $20 for a used record, because that is just as much as a reissue. So I like it when a record store prices their records that are used accordingly and the right price. The next one I'm going to talk about is Canterbury Records in Pasadena. I've been going to Canterbury Records since, probably, I want to say 2003 or 2004. And I remember the very first CD I bought from Canterbury Records, and that was The Moon and the Antarctica by Modest Mouse. And my favorite song off that album is Tiny Cities Made of Ashes. I need to get their stuff on vinyl format eventually. There's a lot of records that I eventually need to get for my collection. I just keep putting it off, if I'm being honest with you. But Canterbury Records is the record store that I go to every year since 2015 for Record Store Day. But I'm thinking of changing it up and going to Amoeba Records instead this year, because Amoeba is planning to move their store in fall of 2020 near the Pantages Theater. So I want to go actually a few more times before they close and take some pictures just for nostalgic purposes. I love that record store a lot. But yeah, I haven't quite decided if I'm going to go and stick with Canterbury Records or go to Amoeba Records. I know if I go to Amoeba Records, I'm going to have to get up at 12 a.m. or really early and get in line, because there's going to be quite a line for Record Store Day in April. So I haven't decided yet what I am going to do. But I do have that What's in My Bag that I bought from Amoeba Records, so that'd be perfect to use for my Record Store Day purchases. The next record store I'm going to talk about is Permanent Records in Echo Park. So there's a venue next to Permanent Records, which is called the Echo. And usually when I go to the Echo, I have some free time to kill, I will go and check out Permanent Records. And I bought a couple of cheap records from Permanent Records, but I don't remember exactly what I bought. But again, it's one of those hole in the wall record stores, and I like it. They have some decent prices, and if you're ever in the Echo Park area, do check out Permanent Records. The next store I'm going to talk about is my favorite record store. I've been to that record store the most out of all the record stores I've been to, and that is Amoeba Records in Hollywood. It's a huge record store. So many people have done shows at Amoeba, including Sir Paul McCartney. Yes, Macca has done a show at Amoeba, and I'm really bummed that I did not go to it. But then again, it was in 2007, and back then I was going to Barnes & Noble and Borders to buy my music. I wasn't thinking about record stores back then, which I should have, because then I would have saw Macca. Anyways, that record store has a little bit of everything. They've got books, DVDs, CDs, records, t-shirts, turntables, magazines. That store has a lot of things. And every time I go to Amoeba Records, I discover something new within that store. And I just love that store has so much to see. And I definitely want to go there 3, 4, or 5 more times before they actually move their actual record store. But if you're ever in Hollywood, I highly recommend you check out that show and maybe catch a free show at Amoeba for sure. The next store I'm going to talk about is the Record Parlor, which is a record store down the street from Amoeba Records. Now, I've only been to that record store once. And the reason why I went to that record store is because they hold this thing called Free Records Day. And what Free Record Day is where you pay $20 and you get to grab 100 records for free. Now, the records that they are giving you in this free record store day, I say record store day, in this free record day thing, are not records that are in the best of shape, and they're not records that everybody wants. There's stuff that you can find probably at your Goodwill, but I was surprised to find some Arlo Guthrie, Bad Company, Eagles, and America, of all people. So, it's kind of a hit and miss. Sometimes you might find good things at it. Sometimes you might not find good things. Now, I did look at the used records that they had within the store. They are a little bit pricey, if I'm being honest. And it's a record store that I might occasionally visit from time to time, but it's not a record store I would go to as much as, say, Amoeba Music. The next one I'm going to talk about is Vintage Vinyl. I believe that is the name of the record store. My boyfriend, he works in Torrance, and he happened to stumble upon this record store in Torrance, California. And I was like, okay, let's go and visit it. And the owner of the store was a very nice guy. And I really liked the store. And if I'm ever in the area, I will go there again. And also, while I'm filming this video, I thought I would include some record stores that I've been to that are outside of the LA area. There's a couple of record stores that I went to in San Diego. So I went with my sister on a trip to San Diego, and I told her I wanted to go and visit some record stores while we're there in San Diego. So we went to Fine Folk Art, and we went to Record City in San Diego. I love both of those record stores. I even went and got a tote bag from Record City and stickers. So if you're ever in the San Diego area, I would recommend you go and visit Fine Folk Art Records. I believe that's the name of it. If not, I will put the actual name in the description box below. And also Record City in San Diego. They have a really nice selection of records, and the owner of both of those stores are really nice. It's always nice when you go to a record store and you have a really nice record store owner. Now, let's talk about the record stores I would like to go and visit. Because LA, we have a lot of record stores. We are not at a shortage for record stores, that's for sure. The first one I want to talk about is Freak Beat Records in Sherman Oaks. I've heard so much about this record store from Balding Boomer. I just haven't gotten around to visiting this actual record store, but I heard they have quite the memorabilia collection. And you know, I love to collect Monkees memorabilia. So that is definitely on my list of record stores that I need to go and visit in the near future. The next record store I want to talk about is Record Surplus. Record Surplus supposedly is supposed to be a really big record store, and I've heard from people they have quite a bit of interesting records within that record store. And you know me, I love interesting records, and they have a lot of used records. Anytime I find out a record store sells a lot of used records, I feel like I'm in heaven because I love collecting used records. The next store that I want to go and visit is Rockaway Records in Los Angeles. From what I heard from people within the vinyl community, they have recommended that I eventually go and check out that record store. And they say that that record store has a nice selection of records. But those are the ones that I want to visit within the LA area eventually. But of course, one of these days, I would like to go and take a road trip and just go to states that you would not expect to have a record store, like Alaska, Hawaii, South Dakota, North Dakota, Arkansas. I would love to do that. You know, just go to those states that you don't expect to have a record store and be like, whoa, Alaska has a record store, Hawaii has a record store. You know, just do that. Someday I will. So hopefully this video has been helpful for those of you who are planning to visit the LA area. And of course, I think the person also mentioned about meeting up with people within the LA area. Off the top of my head, I know Vinyl Richie lives in LA. Matt Hayes and Gregory Short live within the Southern California area. Balding Boomer. And that's about it that I can think of when it comes to people who live within the LA area. If you are a member of the vinyl community and you live within the LA area and you want to someday do a LA VC meetup, there's a person that's coming out here to LA and wants to meet up with a lot of people within the LA area. Maybe we should do that. It'd be kind of cool, have a VC Southern California meet up and we can talk about our favorite records. So that is my video. Peace, love, and grooviness. Bye, guys.